Japan. A land where reality serves as the backdrop for ancient dreams. Sacred mountains hidden in eternal mist, the whispered words of forgotten kami. Each step on the ancient stone paths is a dance between myth and hyperspeed, painting a picture that feels entirely unreal. A world where architecture and mythology merge. Temples rise from the sea at high tide as if crafted by magic. Our journey begins now in search of places that don't belong to this world. Fushimi Inari-taisha Shrine. This is no ordinary shrine. It is the headquarters of more than 30,000 Inari shrines across Japan. Fushimi Inari is a 4-kilometer-long mountain trail system to the summit of Mount Inari. Here, each gate is sponsored by a business or individual with the name and date engraved on the back. With the Torii Gate as a symbol separating the mortal and divine worlds. This is a unique form of revenue offering for Japanese businesses to pray to the god Inari to bless their business. This is not just a check-in point. This is where you walk through thousands of Japanese prayers over 1,300 years. Where businessmen kneel before the rice god, where ancient farmers give thanks for the harvest, and where tourists today Shiratani Unsuikyo Moss Forest. famous as the inspiration for the forest in the famous animated film Princess Mononoke by Studio Ghibli and director Hayao Miyazaki. Many people describe the feeling of entering this mossy forest as being lost in a fairy tale world. With the still, fresh air and green light reflecting from the thick moss covering every rock surface, creating a surreal scene. Also known as a beautiful natural park, with many ancient cedar trees, clear streams, and giant rocks. Famous for the mossy forest route, the most popular route with the most beautiful mossy scenery. Thanks to Yakushima's year-round heavy rainfall, the forest remains lush, vibrant, and magical rain or shine. Mount Yoshino. More than just an ordinary mountain, Yoshino is a perfect blend of majestic natural beauty. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 2004. Mount Yoshino is located in Yoshino Town, Nara Prefecture, approximately 37,282 miles south of central Nara. With an average altitude of 400 to 500 meters above sea level, creating a gentle, hilly terrain ideal for traveling by foot. The air here is fresh and cool all year round, with cherry blossom forests covering the mountain slopes divided into 4 main areas. This stratification is not random, but was designed in the Heian period so that the flowers bloom sequentially from Culturally, it is an endless source of inspiration for Japanese poetry. Lake Mashu. Lake Mashu is a crater lake formed from an ancient volcanic eruption. It is known as one of the clearest lakes in the world, giving the water its unique deep blue color. The blue color of the lake changes constantly according to the sunlight and clouds, creating a landscape that is always fresh and enchanting. In the language of the indigenous Ainu people, the lake is called Kamuito, showing their sacredness and respect for the place. Famous for being frequently covered in thick fog, especially in the summer. This adds to the mysterious and elusive feel of the lake. Takachiho Gorge. A majestic gorge in Miyazaki, Kyushu, recognized by UNESCO as a National Natural Monument and place of special scenic beauty. Not only is it a geological wonder, it is also the homeland of the gods, according to Shinto mythology. This gorge was formed by lava eruptions from Mount Aso, with 4 major eruptions. Lava flows rapidly through the Gokazi River, cooling suddenly to form vertical basalt columns. The Gokazi River then eroded over millennia, carving out a narrow gorge only a few meters wide with steep cliffs. The beauty of Takachiho lies in the contrast of the roughness of the black basalt rock next to the clear water. Aoi Ike Blue Pond. The most attractive point is the extremely prominent cobalt blue or jade green color of the lake surface. A surreal scene contrasting with the usually bare tree trunks of larch and birch standing in the middle of the lake. The lake's watercolor is not fixed, but changes according to the season, weather, and sunlight, sometimes shining like jade. Aoi Ike Pond is not a natural pond, but a random artificial structure. It was built as part of an erosion control system to prevent mud flows from the nearby Tokachi volcano. The magical blue color is said to be due to natural aluminum hydroxide colloidal particles, along with other minerals from the Shiratani Onsen hot springs. Summer between May and June is usually when the lake is at its most beautiful and vibrant turquoise. Ogasawara Islands. This is not just a destination, but a real journey where people blend with wild nature. Ogasawara is often referred to as the Galapagos of the East, due to its isolated ecosystem never connected to the mainland. It is a volcanic archipelago with more than 30 large and small islands spread over an area of 32,425 square miles. The terrain here is impressive, with 50 to 100 meter high vertical cliffs surrounding coral reefs and small narrow beaches. Iwo Jima Island is famous for its dormant volcanoes, hot springs, and rapid geological uplift. The climate is subtropical with average temperatures ranging from 20 to 30 degrees Celsius year-round, similar to Okinawa but with fewer typhoons. Hashima Island. Also known as Gunkanjima, because of its shape resembling a battleship from afar. Once a bustling undersea coal mine, it was acquired and developed by Mitsubishi Corporation. At its peak in 1959, it had a population of over 5,000, making it one of the most densely populated places in the world at the time. Abandoned when coal lost its position as a major energy source, the mine closed in 1974. In just a few months, the island was completely abandoned, turning into a ghost town with ruined, moss-covered buildings. With its desolate, mysterious appearance, Hashima has become the setting for many film and television works. Shirakawa-go, ancient village. Deep in the Shogawa Valley of Gifu Prefecture, central Japan, is more than just a village. Recognized as a World Cultural Heritage by UNESCO in 1995, this place is a living symbol of the Gasho Zukuri style of houses. The entire wooden frame of the house is meticulously joined with mortise and tenon joints connected by rope from barley plants. Natural materials such as pine wood and thatch are replaced every 30 to 40 years with a roofing festival where the whole village works together. As the largest living museum over 300 years old, it still retains the ancient living space. If Kyoto is the soul of Japanese culture, then Shirakawa-go is its beating heart. Sagano Bamboo Forest. The biggest attraction is the thousands of tall, straight Moso bamboo trees reaching up to the sky, forming a lush green tunnel. This scene feels like stepping into another world completely separate from the hustle and bustle of the city. Sunlight filtered through the bamboo leaves, creating sparkling streaks of light on the emerald green background of the forest. Creates a beautiful natural picture and is one of the most popular photography spots in Kyoto. The sound of the wind blowing through the bamboo stems, rustling the bamboo leaves, creates a natural, melodious, and gentle symphony. Has been famous since the Heian period and was once a place chosen by the nobility as a resort and hunting spot. Kinkaku-ji Temple. In 1397, Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu bought the Saionji Villa and turned it into Kitayama Dono, a luxurious resort palace. Architecturally, Kinkaku-ji is a three-story masterpiece, each with its own style and philosophy. Kinkaku-ji is a living testament to the Buddhist law of impermanence. Even the most radiant beauty can vanish overnight. Golden ratio with 12.8 meters height each floor gradually narrows, creating a feeling of flying up to the sky. Gion District. It features cobblestone streets lined with traditional wooden houses and tea shops with distinctive screen doors. This scene gives the feeling of going back in time to the ancient capital of Kyoto. This area, especially in the evening when the lanterns are lit, becomes magical and romantic. Hanamikoji Street and the Shirakawa area are considered particularly beautiful and iconic. Gion is where the culture of geisha and maiko geisha apprentices is most strongly maintained. The area is also home to traditional kabuki theaters, such as the Minamiza Theater, and traditional performing arts venues. Located near many famous spiritual and historical sites, such as Yasaka Shrine and Kenninji Temple. Fukuoka Momochi Tower. A modern symbol of Fukuoka City, located in the seaside Momochi area along the Hakata Bay coast. At 234 meters tall, it is Japan's tallest coastal tower, inaugurated in 1989 to commemorate the city's 100th anniversary. More than just an architectural work, it represents Fukuoka's vibrant urban development. Historically, Fukuoka Tower was built in just 14 months at a cost of about 6 billion yen. Architect Hisanori Oshima's design features a unique triangular shape covered with more than 8,000 semi-transparent mirrors. Not only did this structure withstand magnitude 7 earthquakes and winds up to 65 meters per second, it also became a landmark in popular culture. Yakushima National Park. As one of Japan's first World Natural Heritage Sites, this demonstrates its irreplaceable ecological value and unique landscape. You will see giant Japanese cedar trees called yakusugi, which are thousands of years old. The most famous tree is the Jomon Sugi, estimated to be between 2,000 and 7,000 years old, a true historical witness. The mossy, damp, and pristine forest at Shiratani Unsuikyo is said to have been the inspiration for the setting in the famous anime film. The island has many high peaks, including Kyushu's highest mountain, Miyanura-dake. Itsukushima Shrine. The shrine was first built in 593 by order of the noblewoman Saeki no Kuramoto. But its current form is the work of Taira no Kiyomori, a powerful shogun of the Heian period in 1168. He chose to build on water to avoid polluting the land, because according to Shinto beliefs, in 2004, a major storm broke part of the Torii Gate, but the Japanese restored it in just 6 months. The centerpiece of Itsukushima is a 16.8-meter high, 60-ton vermilion torii gate that stands alone in the sea without any support. The gate is painted with vermilion, the color of Shinto gods, and is replaced every 100 years. It is a testament to the immortal spirit of preservation of Japanese culture. Aogashima Volcanic Island. The biggest attraction is that the entire island is the crater of a giant volcano. And what's special is that inside this large crater is a smaller sub-cone crater called Maruyama. When viewed from above, especially from a helicopter or the highest point, Otonbu, a lush green bowl-shaped valley surrounded by steep cliffs of the volcanic rim with a small mountain in the middle. It was this beauty that was said to be the inspiration for the town of Itamori in the famous anime Your Name. It is the most remote and isolated inhabited island in the Izu archipelago, located approximately 222.45 miles south of Tokyo. The population on the island is very small, only about 170 people, creating a small community. Shiratoko National Park. Located at the northeastern tip of Hokkaido Island, Japan. It is one of the most pristine areas on the planet. The name Shiratoko comes from the indigenous Ainu language and means where the earth protrudes, or remote corner of the world. Shiratoko's history is closely linked to the Ainu people, the original inhabitants of Hokkaido. Since the 19th century, when Japan expanded its influence to Hokkaido, Shiratoko gradually became a symbol of conservation. UNESCO recognition not only honors natural beauty, but also emphasizes the value of peace. However, this recognition also sparked debate from the Ainu community, as it sometimes ignored their long history of settlement. Lake Yamanaka and swans. It is a beautiful and very famous place in Japan, especially because it is associated with the image of Mount Fuji and swans. Lake Yamanaka is the largest and closest lake to Mount Fuji of the Fuji 5 lakes. This location offers the most stunning and majestic views of Japan's iconic mountain. The lake is also known as Swan Lake. because many swans live and swim peacefully on the lake's surface. The image of Mount Fuji towering with a flock of swans is a very unique and romantic sight. On clear early mornings, the lake's surface is as calm as a mirror, perfectly reflecting the image of Mount Fuji. Creates a beautiful upside-down Fuji phenomenon that is highly sought after by photographers, especially in the Hirano Beach area. Blue Cave in Okinawa. Nestled at Cape Maeda-Onna Village, Okinawa Prefecture, Japan. This place is not only a semi-submerged limestone cave, but also a symbol of Okinawa's natural beauty. Where the tropical ocean blends with magical light, it is ranked one of the 3 most beautiful blue caves on the planet. With a maximum depth of only 6 meters and a distance from the cave entrance to the tourist area of about 35 meters. This is a paradise for both beginners and professional divers. Kiyomizu-dera Temple. One of the most prominent and iconic sites of the ancient capital of Kyoto, Japan. This is the most famous highlight, a large wooden platform supported by 139 Zelkova wooden columns about 13 meters high built into the cliff face. What is special is that this project was built entirely using assembly techniques without using a single nail. The temple was founded in 778, has a history of more than 1,200 years, and is one of the oldest temples in Japan. The temple worships the thousand-armed bodhisattva Avalokitesvara, the goddess of compassion, who is highly respected by the people. Ine no Funaya Fishing Village. Also known as Funaya Fishing Village of Ine, it is a hidden gem in the northern coastal region of Kyoto, Japan. Where turquoise sea and ancient wooden houses blend into a vivid picture of traditional fishing life. Nestled on Ine Bay on the Tango Peninsula, about 15 kilometers north of Amano Hashidat. This village is known as the Venice of Japan thanks to its more than 230 funaya houses, unique structures built directly on the water. Ine's history dates back to the Edo period, when the village became a vibrant fishing center, famous for whaling. Initially, funaya were just simple huts of fishermen to pull boats up to dry, avoid rain, wind, and insects. Okunoin Temple. An extremely special and sacred place located on Mount Koya, Wakayama, Prefecture, Japan. Kobo Daishi's Mausoleum. This is the core of Okunoin. Kobo Daishi was the founder of the Shingon sect. It is believed that Kobo Daishi did not pass away, but is in a state of eternal meditation in his mausoleum. This makes Okunoin a very sacred place. Monks still perform the ritual of offering vegetarian food twice daily to Kobo Daishi. The graves are interspersed under giant cedar trees, creating a mysterious, quiet, and somewhat magical space. Kokonoe Yume Suspension Bridge. Also known as the Kokonoe Dream Suspension Bridge. It is nestled in the majestic Narukogawa Valley in Kokonoe Town. Inaugurated on October 30th, 2006, after more than 2 years of urgent construction from May 2004. With a length of 390 meters, a width of only 1.5 meters, and a dizzying height of 173 meters above the valley floor. The name Yume was chosen from more than 6,000 suggestions from Kokonoi residents, reflecting the dream of working together to build a tourism icon. To date, after nearly 2 decades, it has welcomed more than 10 million visitors, becoming an Oita heritage. Architecturally, Kokonoi Yume is not only a bridge, but also a road in the clouds. The pine-floored floor is anchored by giant steel cables that dangle from 2 soaring towers. Ritsurin Garden. Built over 100 years during the Edo period, the garden is in the traditional Japanese stroll garden style. It is designed so that visitors can enjoy the ever-changing landscape with every step. The majestic view of Mount Shiun in the background is cleverly incorporated into the garden. This is one of the few gardens recognized by the Japanese government as a national special place of scenic beauty. The garden was once a private retreat for local lords, where tea ceremonies, moon viewing, and poetry writing took place. Autumn is famous for the brilliant red and yellow leaves of maple trees, creating a fairy tale scene. Tojinbo Cliffs. Also known as Tohoku Cliffs, is a series of steep cliffs along the coast of the Sea of Japan, located in the Anto section of Mikuni Town. This is one of the most prominent natural wonders of the Hokuriku region. With a length of approximately 0.62137 miles and an average elevation of 30 meters. History is associated with a dark legend imbued with tragedy and the supernatural reflecting Japanese folklore. The name Tojinbo comes from a cruel monk named Tojinbo, who belonged to Himeji Temple near Fukui City. In 1182, out of disgust for his evil nature, his fellow monks tricked him into attending a seaside party. This legend not only explains the name, but also creates a mysterious mist that covers the place. Jigokudani Valley. This is the crater remnant of Mount Kotara with a diameter of about 450 meters. The name Hell comes from the sight of steam and sulfur gas rising from fissures, hot springs, and boiling lakes. It is a rich source of hot water for the famous Noboribetsu hot spring area. The landscape is outstanding, especially in autumn with its brilliant red leaves or winter with its white snow cover. This place is famous worldwide for being the natural habitat of the Japanese macaque, also known as the snow monkey. In winter, visitors can observe snow monkeys flocking to soak in natural hot springs to keep warm. Both Jigokudani locations offer unique natural experiences in Japan. from the majestic hell on earth of Noboribetsu with geothermal hot springs. Mount Fuji and Lake Kawaguchiko, the inseparable pair of Yamanashi Prefecture. Not only is it the national symbol of Japan, but it is also the only place on earth where the Japanese worship nature as a living god. Here, a towering 100,000-year-old 3,776-meter volcano meets calm waters 830 meters above sea level. Mount Fuji, or Fujisan, is the last active stratovolcano in the Pacific Ring of Fire. The ash then flew as far as Edo, 15 centimeters thick. The perfectly symmetrical cone-shaped peak, with a slope ratio of 1 to 3.5, was formed over 4 eruptive stages 700,000 years ago. The Japanese call this the Immortal Mountain because the top is covered in snow all year round from October to June. Jodogahama Beach. A famous and beautiful place often likened to Pure Land Heaven in Buddhism. The most distinctive feature is the striking contrast between the jagged white rocks formed from volcanic lava. This scene creates a picturesque landscape, bringing a sense of peace and surrealism. The beach is covered with white pebbles, not sand, creating a unique and different look. With the name, the seawater here is quite calm because it is located in a small sheltered bay ideal for swimming in the summer. Himeji Castle. Located in downtown Himeji Hyogo Prefecture, about 1 hour by express train from Kyoto. This is one of 12 original castles remaining from feudal Japan, recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in 1993. Often compared to Bak Lothan because of its pure white appearance, graceful like a white stork spreading its wings in the middle of the plain. Unlike the gilded Kinkaku-ji Himeji, is a symbol of military power. Himeji's history begins in 1333 when Akamatsu Norimura built a small fortress on the Himeyama Hill. By 1581, Toyotomi Hideyoshi had captured it and turned it into a strategic base. Tsuboyu Hot Springs. It is the only hot spring in the world recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site that you can bathe in. It is part of the sacred sites and pilgrimage routes in the Key Mountain Range. This hot spring has a long history and serves as a purification site for pilgrims on the Kumano-Kodo route. Tsuboyu is a small stone bath located in a simple wooden house by the stream. It only has room for about 2 adults and is used as a private bath with a time limit of 30 minutes per session. Legend has it that the color of the spring water can change 7 times a day. Sengokuhara Grasslands. One of the most majestic natural symbols of Fuji Hakone-Izu National Park. This place is not only a vast grassland, but also a living heritage of the balance between humans and nature. Covering an area of approximately 8,494 square miles, Sengokuhara was once an ancient lakebed from a volcanic period thousands of years ago. Now transformed into the only wetland and grassland in Kanagawa, recognized as one of the 50 most beautiful landscapes. Standing among the rolling, grassy hills along the western slopes of Mount Hakone, you will feel the vastness of Japanese nature. Not as noisy as Kyoto or Tokyo, but peaceful and intimate, like a watercolor painting drawn by wind and light. Tsunoshima Ohashi Bridge. The bridge stands out with its 1,780-meter-long image, gracefully curving over the beautiful cobalt blue sea of the Amagasado Strait. Especially on sunny summer days, the combination of sparkling sea and blue sky. The bridge is designed with a gentle curve to avoid Hatoshima Island in the middle of the strait, aiming to preserve the natural environment. The height of the bridge is also limited to maintain harmony with the surrounding landscape. This is the longest bridge in Japan, connecting to a remote island without charging a toll. This place is often used as a setting for TV dramas and movies. Not only is it a transportation project, but it is also an architectural masterpiece that blends with the nature of Yamaguchi Province. Nachi Waterfall. This place is not only a natural wonder, but also the sacred center of the Kumano Sanzan complex. Recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 2004. The waterfall in the grounds of Sengokuhara-ji Temple number 1 of the 33 Western temples. Historically, Nachi Falls has been worshipped since prehistoric times as a kami, a mountain deity. Kumano Nachi-taisha Shrine was built in the 4th century, originally as a place to worship a waterfall under the name Hiro Gongin. During the Heian period, Buddhism was introduced, and the waterfall was assimilated with the thousand-armed Guanyin. The most prominent architecture is the three-story vermilion tower of the pagoda located close to the edge of the waterfall. Koyasan Danjo Garan Temple. One of the most important religious centers of Shingon Buddhism in Japan. Along with Okunoin, this is one of the two core sacred sites of Koyasan. The complex is said to represent the mandala worldview of Shingon Buddhism. The stupas and halls built have profound meanings symbolizing the universe. Aochi-juku Ancient Village. Also known as Uchi-juku Ancient Village, it is nestled in the southern mountains of Minami-Aizu. This place is not only a historical relic, but also a living time machine, taking visitors back to the 17th, 19th centuries. Designated as an important preservation district for traditional buildings by the Japanese government in 1981. In 2025, when post-pandemic tourism is strongly reviving, Aochi-juku continues to be an ideal destination for those who crave peace. Especially in the context of Fukushima, promoting samurai culture experience tours. Mount Kaimondake. Commonly known as Satsuma Fuji, it is a very notable site in the southern part of the Satsuma Peninsula. This is a dormant volcano, famous for its near-perfect cone shape, very similar to the legendary Mount Fuji. The 920-meter-high figure rises directly from the sea. Its beautiful symmetrical conical shape can be admired from many places on the Satsuma Peninsula. As the sun sets, the mountain's shadow falls on the sea, creating a breathtaking scene. Although the altitude is much lower than Mount Fuji, because the climb starts almost from sea level. Yurigahama Beach. This is not a regular beach, but a temporary strip of white sand that only appears at low tide. Nicknamed Phantom Beach, this ghost beach is a symbol of the magical transformation of the ocean. Where pristine white sand rises up from the emerald green water, creating a small, lonely island like a mirage. With more than 60 beaches on Yuron Island, Yurigahama stands out for its fragile beauty surrounded by the Yuron blue. The blue color is typical of tropical waters and is part of the Amami Oshima World Natural Heritage. Not only a destination for those who love the sea, Yurigahama also carries a message about impermanence. Lake Okama. Lake Okama is located on the summit of Mount Zao, an active volcano on the border between Miyagi and Yamagata prefectures. This is a crater lake formed after volcanic eruptions. The name Okama means pot or cauldron in Japanese due to the lake's similar shape. The biggest attraction of Okama is the water surface that changes color constantly depending on the intensity of sunlight. The lake can change from deep blue azure to emerald green or brilliant turquoise, creating a magical beauty. Okama Lake is located at an altitude of about 1,600 meters, surrounded by three mountain peaks Katadaka. Yaeyama Islands. With more than 160 large and small islands spread over an area of approximately 226,642 square miles. This place is not only a destination for blue coral sea, but also a treasure trove of Ryukyu culture and diverse ecosystems. Closer to Taiwan than main Okinawa, Yaeyama feels like a mini Thailand, but with less mass tourism. Yaeyama is a living testament to the fusion of wild nature and ancient heritage. The first place in Japan to be certified as a dark sky park by the International Dark Sky Association in 2018. Historically, Yaeyama was not part of classical Japan, but belonged to the independent Ryukyu Kingdom from the 12th century. Matsue Castle. A wonderful and historically significant destination in Japan. This is one of the few castles that still retains its original structure, never destroyed by war or fire. Matsue Castle is one of only 12 original castle towers remaining in Japan, completed in 1611. Recognized as a national treasure in 2015, affirming its extremely important cultural and historical value. Unlike the bright, elegant white appearance of some other castles, Matsue is predominantly black. Inside this 5-story castle, visitors will see defensive features such as loopholes and windows for dropping stones. Sandanbeki Coast. A masterpiece of nature, located along the Pacific coast in Shirahama Town, Wakayama Prefecture. This place is not only a wild coastline with steep cliffs 50 to 60 meters high. formed from sandstone and basalt constantly eroded by ocean waves and the Kuroshio Current. It is part of the Yoshino-Kumano National Park, which is strictly protected to preserve its rare geology and rich coastal ecosystem. Kintaikyo Bridge. Kintaikyo Bridge is famous for its elegant and sophisticated five-arched wooden structure that spans the Nishiki River. This is one of the three most famous bridges in Japan. The bridge was first built in 1673 without nails, using assembly techniques. This demonstrates the excellent technical level of the ancient Japanese. Although it was washed away by floods and had to be rebuilt, the bridge still retains its beauty and historical value. Senso-ji Garden at sunset. At sunset, the ancient and noisy temple in the heart of Asakusa is no longer there, but turns into a vivid ink painting. Where the gentle light of late afternoon caresses each tile and each Buddha face. As the sun sets behind the five-story pagoda, the entire garden behind the temple is bathed in a honey-orange glow. Light passes through the patterned vents, painting ancient patterns on the ground like ukiyo-e woodblock prints. Senjojiki Coast. This is a large, flat bedrock beach formed by the uplift of the ground after the 1792 earthquake. The name Senjojiki comes from the legend of a feudal lord who laid out 1,000 tatami mats to hold a banquet here. Selected as one of the 100 most beautiful sunsets in Japan. The view of the unique rock formations with the setting sun behind them is spectacular. If you love majestic seascapes, unique rock beaches, and want to admire one of the most beautiful sunset moments, this is the place. Amano-hashi dot. Located in northern Kyoto Prefecture, it is a 3.6-kilometer-long narrow strip of sand covered with lush green pine forests. Translated as Bridge to Heaven, this place is not only a rare natural landscape, but also a symbol of Japanese culture. Not a temple or a palace, but a masterpiece bestowed by nature. It invites you to step into a world where nature blends with legend. The history and legend of Amano Hashidate originates from Shinto mythology. Where the creator gods, Izanagi and Izanami, are said to have used a ladder to descend from heaven. Japanese Alps. A great destination famous for its majestic mountain scenery and diverse outdoor activities. Japanese Alps is the collective name for three major mountain ranges in the Chubu region on the Japanese island of Honshu. With mountain peaks over 3,000 meters high and breathtaking natural scenery, this area is known as the Roof of Japan. Often considered the jewel of the Japanese Alps, it boasts dramatic alpine scenery and the crystal-clear Azusa River. Covering much of the northern Alps region, it is renowned for its challenging mountain routes and unspoiled beauty. Seto Inland Sea. Also known as the Seto Inland Sea, it is not a sea in the usual sense. It is a 450-kilometer-long stretch of gentle water, sandwiched between three large islands, Honshu Shikoku and Kyushu. With more than 3,000 small islands scattered like green gems in the calm water. The Japanese call this the Japanese Pond because it is sheltered from the wind and has few big waves, yet contains a whole world of culture. The wind carries a light salt scent mixed with the citrus aroma from the mikan gardens on Shiratani Island. Kurobe Gorge. Known as one of the three Great Canyons and the deepest V-shaped canyon in Japan. Steep cliffs covered by primeval forest create an extremely majestic and impressive scene. The Kurobe River flowing below has a beautiful emerald green watercolor, contrasting with the green of the trees and rocks. This is the highlight of the trip, the small railway originally built to serve hydroelectric projects. The railway offers breathtaking views of the gorge, impressive bridges like the Atobiki Bridge, and interesting stops along the way. Kerama Islands. The seawater here has such a distinctive and beautiful blue color that it is called by its own name, Kerama Blue. The water clarity is considered to be among the best in the world, sometimes visible to a depth of 30 meters. It is home to about 250 species of coral and a myriad of tropical marine life, including sea turtles. From January to March is humpback whale migration and breeding season, making this a popular spot for whale watching. The archipelago consists of 36 large and small islands, of which only 4 are inhabited: Tokashiki, Zamami Aka, and Jiruma. For underwater activities, or simply finding a paradise of crystal clear blue waters, beautiful corals, and peace, this is the place, is the Kirishima, Kinkaku National Park. A masterpiece of wild nature located in the southernmost part of Kyushu Island, spanning Kagoshima and Miyazaki provinces. Established in 1934, as one of Japan's first national parks. The history of Kirishima Kinkaku is tied to geological power and ancient legend.